Folks, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. James, you just finished performing here at City Hall Live at Nathan Phillips Square. How was it for you, my friend?
It was great. The crowds here are cool. I didn't realize there was a farmer's market here. It's a wonderful thing. I'm going to come down and have some kettle corn in a bit and stay there all day. And then go home, I think.
Yeah, you deserve it. I know you're sweating with the humidity and everything else here too, man. But like I said, great performance. Thank you for doing this. And as we speak, you're going to be performing tomorrow, so you got to be looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
How is it that you guys met? Because we did a quick interview on stage, and I found out that not only do you guys perform together, but you guys are married. How did this collaboration got together?
I was going to school out in Victoria, BC. I'm from Montana originally, so that brought me into Canada. And right in my last month that I was allowed to live in Canada, I met James, and we sparked a little romance and kind of kept in contact until we decided to get married here at City Hall.
That's the best part too. But musically though, I mean, what would you think the connection musically was too?
I think we both, at the time, were sort of more immersed in the folk scene in Canada, and but we both had larger interests and influences coming in from more of the rock, the rock and pop kind of spectrums. And so kind of along our journey of being together, we've embraced those genres more and kind of been able to move through all these different phases together.
You know, listening to your music, my friend, I kind of mentioned before, there's that Dylan, Tom Cochrane thing. Where did that come from for you?
Well, I was raised on a lot of like John Prine, kind of Joni Mitchell, early country stuff mixed with kind of Chuck Berry and that kind of early rock and roll. So those were kind of where my influences were when I started wanting to write music and talking about music. So I like the spirit of like combining those kind of the storytelling and the kind of catharsis of rock and roll together into one thing, and you kind of get you can both have a story and dance at the same time. It's kind of what I like.
What about yourself? You were mentioning something about synths, though, a little different.
Yeah, my newest album, my last album, I sort of just, based on growing up and like listening to a lot of the oldie station, I sort of had to do a Motown-inspired album. I needed to do an album with like a full horn section and backup singers just to hear what it would sound like. And since then, the band we've been working with in Toronto is much more synth-oriented, and we wanted to condense the sound to have fewer parts to work with, and so that we'd have more room to move within those parts.
Very, very cool. When are we going to get a chance to hear this new album?
I think 2019.
2019. But while we're waiting for yours, you have an album out right now.
I do. It's called Paradise Cinema. It's available on all the streaming platforms, or you can, come talk to me at a show sometime and say hi.
What's the theme for this album for you? How is it representing you in this point in your career?
I kind of wrote it thinking about sort of changes in Toronto and what's happening, and the title is Paradise Cinema. It's actually named after a cinema on Bloor Street that at the time was empty and has been empty for several years, but is just about to reopen. And just how as things change, who wins and who loses, and having that discussion, I think is interesting.
Okay, so look, we know we've got an album right now. We got a future album. There are performances throughout the city and everywhere else. Where do we go to follow you guys? When the music's coming out, or where you're going to be performing? What are the websites, social media?
I'm at J Burrows Music on Twitter, and you can find me at James Burrows Music on Instagram. And I generally post regularly on those, and you can find out. Those are the best spots to go to.
Fantastic. And yourself?
Probably on Instagram and Facebook, just under Rachael Cardiello.
Looking forward to it. Folks, thank you so much for the interview. Thank you so much for the music. Looking forward to yours tomorrow as we speak, and looking forward to everything you guys are doing in 2018 and 2019. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.